The soldiers of the 278th Armored Cavalry Regiment represent a legacy of fighting men whose ancestors made their first contribution to the nation's freedom. Before the Revolutionary War, local militia units formed throughout communities in order to protect settlers from Creek and Cherokee Indian attacks.
The volunteers serving in this militia in 1780 first began to build their reputation as fierce fighters when Colonel John Sevier called for 100 good men to fight the British. 200 men answered the call and formed a mounted militia company, thereby initiating the tradition of the Tennessee Cavalry in the Revolutionary War.
The Tennessee Mounted Militia went on to help defeat a superior British force in the Battle of Kings Mountain in North Carolina, thus halting the British advancing force in their retreat.
During the War of 1812, militia units from East Tennessee marched with General Andrew Jackson and fought engagements in Pensacola, Florida, and then defeated a superior English force in New Orleans.
When the war with Mexico erupted in 1846, a call went out for 2,800 volunteers from the state of Tennessee to take part in the fighting. 38,000 Tennesseans answered the call, earning the Tennessee militia the nickname of volunteers and the state nickname the Volunteer State. From that heritage was derived the 278th Armored Cavalry Regiment's motto, "I volunteer, sir."
During the Civil War, East Tennessee militia regiments from the 3rd Brigade served in the Army of Virginia under General Robert E. Lee and General Braxton Bragg's Confederate Army of Tennessee. Numerous militia units from East Tennessee also served in the Union Army of the Cumberland under Major General William Rosecrans.
In 1887, the Tennessee militia was absorbed into the National Guard of the United States as the 3rd Tennessee Infantry Regiment with its headquarters in Knoxville, and was mustered into federal service in 1898 for the war with Spain.
In 1916, the regiment was again mustered into federal service in Nashville and deployed to Eagle Pass, Texas to serve with the Army in its pursuit of the bandit Pancho Villa along the Mexican and U.S. border.
After returning home from Texas, the regiment was mustered into federal service for World War I. IT was assigned to the 30th Division and reorganized as the 117th Infantry Regiment. The 30th Division was nicknamed the Old Hickory Division after President Andrew Jackson of Tennessee.
During World War II, the regiment, again as part of the 30th Division, took part in the invasion of Normandy, Operation Cobra, spearheading the breakout from Saint-Lô, France, operations in northern France, Belgium and Holland, and the Battle of the Bulge. The 30th Division became known to the Germans as Roosevelt's shock troops.
In 1946, regimental units were expanded to become the 278th Regimental Combat Team with its headquarters in Athens, Tennessee. During the Korean conflict, the 278th Regimental Combat Team soldiers served with the 7th U.S. Army in Korea. Upon return to Knoxville, the RCT became the 278th Provisional Infantry Brigade.
In 1977, the regiment was redesignated with its current status as the 278th Armored Cavalry Regiment.
The regiment was mobilized as the 278th Regimental Combat Team and served in Iraq in 2004 and entered the history books as the largest single deployment of Tennessee National Guard troops since World War II.
In 2007, soldiers from the Regimental Troops Squadron went to Arizona and participated in the Southwest Border Protection mission called Operation Jumpstart. In 2009, the 278th Armored Cavalry Regiment returned to Southwest Asia, again, as part of Operation Iraqi Freedom. The regiment added a new chapter to its lineage as a mounted cavalry fighting force, this time conducting a legacy cavalry mission of force protection, route security, and convoy security.
In 2010, the regiment returned from deployment and is currently conducting operations in preparation for future missions.